your car keys. So in today's video, whoa, hey, y'all see this? Yeah, just a minute ago, it was bright blue and sunny, just like 3 minutes ago. However, today's video is not about the weather, it is about LED lights. One of the first mods we did on the truck was we put in these LED lights. They're by C-Light, they're super bright, nice crisp white lights, LEDs. And I want to get rid of the yellow halogens that came on this truck because they're hideous, they're ugly. So that was one of the first mods we did. And that video has been my most popular video. Thanks to you guys, I really appreciate it. It's been my most popular video. It's gotten the most views. It's also gotten the most comments and the most questions. One of those main questions has been, is it too bright? Do you blind other drivers? And are other drivers flashing you? So for the once and for all, I want to answer that question. I'm gonna answer all three questions at the same time. And the answer is yes and no. Let me explain. So I've had these LEDs in for about 10 months now. These LEDs are by C-Light. They're H11s and they fit F-150s 2015 and up. And I've had them in for about 10 months. Now I always said that if I was flashed by other drivers, then I would have to do something different because that means they're too bright. And that would be my measuring point as if they're too bright, if other drivers flash me. So for the first 9 months of having these LEDs in, I was flashed exactly 2 times. Both times it was super early in the morning, it was dark, and it was super foggy. It was thick fog. So both times I was flashed, and I figured that's not a big deal. It's not foggy that often. So no problem, no biggie. So now that it's fall again, for whatever reason, it's been foggy every single morning. And I'm out driving, and in the last month, I've been flashed about 8 times. 8 times. Which means it's probably too bright. So let's talk about our actual setup for a second. All right, so these come with what is called reflector style housings. This whole light is in a reflector style housing. Now, the question is, what is a reflector style housing? If you look in here, you can see what looks like chrome. Those are reflectors. So this is an actual reflector. It's what comes in most vehicles, especially older vehicles and lower trim vehicles. It's also what's in my F-150. So the hole right there is where your light bulb comes in, and it does exactly what it says. It reflects light off of all these chrome pieces. The light just reflects. It's also why it's curved, so that it will reflect light outward. Hope that makes sense. Also, reflectors are 10 times out of 10 reflectors come with halogen light bulbs. It's what's rated to be safe for reflectors. Now I'm not gonna get too deep into light bulb ratings, but light bulbs have different rating. Now LEDs are rated higher because they're brighter. It's what gives it that white, crisp light, and it's what makes them brighter. Now that most LEDs, I know the C-Light LEDs are rated at 6,000 K for brightness. Now halogens are safe in pretty much any application that there is, right? It's what was the standard for years. So LEDs, the reason why LEDs are not good in reflector style housings is because there's no cutoff point. Now, if you look at this, there are reflectors on the top, there are reflectors on the bottom, side, corners, there are reflectors everywhere. Therefore, light reflects literally everywhere. When I was in school, my teacher described fog to us as pretty much being like a low cloud that's low to the ground. So I want you to imagine driving and seeing a cloud, right? It's really foggy, and you see this cloud of bright white light coming towards you. And at that point, you can't see anything. All you can see is this bright white cloud coming at you. That's typically what drivers see when I drive my truck and it's foggy outside, because I have these reflectors. So I want you to imagine LED light being in here. It's already super bright. It's coming out, and there's this cloud that scatters it even more. So reflected, at first the light is reflected outwards. As the light comes out, the fog is out, and the fog is literally scatters the light everywhere, and it makes it appear to be a huge cloud of light coming at you. Pretty unsafe. Now, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was that bright. I heard people say it before I put my light bulbs in. I'd heard people say, oh, you might blind other drivers, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, LEDs are everywhere. Everybody has, a lot of people have LEDs. If you get a higher trim vehicle, you get LEDs. So why would my LEDs blind somebody else when nobody else's does? And this is the reason. So this is a projector, right? If you look at most vehicles nowadays, not most, but a lot of vehicles nowadays come with projector style headlight housings. So especially if you look at your upper trim level vehicles, just go home and check. See what you have inside your headlight. Does it look like this or does it look like this? There's more expensive vehicles, luxury vehicles, they all have these in some way, shape, or form in them instead of the reflectors. So these projectors also have reflectors on the inside. I don't know if you can really see, I don't know if you can see that there. That chrome on the inside, that's the reflector part. So the difference in these is that they have a cutoff point, right? And it's basically a cutoff point that's right here. So next time you're driving, next time you park in front of a wall or some kind of flat surface in front of you, see if you see a line. If there's a line in front of you, then you have projector style housings. So basically that cutoff point is right here under the field of vision of the oncoming traffic. So therefore it won't blind the other driver. I know that's confusing, so let me see if I can demonstrate it. All right, so to try to demonstrate this, we're gonna use our projector, and I have a phone with the flashlight, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shine a light through here and see if we can get the cutoff on this wall here. Here's our light. Here's our projector. And there's your cutoff. All right, so that line basically is about here for the average driver's height. So you're sitting in your vehicle and the light shines about there, so that doesn't blind you. Now that's relative to your height and to your type of vehicle, especially with truckers. If you lift your truck or lower your truck, it's relative to where your light shines. But you know, most projectors can also be adjusted. If they come from your factory with projectors, then you don't have to worry about it. They're set from the factory that way. If you're adding aftermarket lights, housings with projectors, you may have to adjust them up and down. Anyway, point being that those applications are good for HID bulbs. They're good for LED bulbs. They're good for even halogen bulbs. Now here's a good example of some projectors. Mazda CX-5, my wife's car, does have projectors in them. Let's see. And LEDs, bright white LEDs. So I was talking about earlier, it has this cutoff line, so it won't blind other drivers. Really interested in this topic, Google it. Just Google, are LEDs safe? And see what comes up. Particularly Google, are LEDs safe in reflector style housings, and see what comes up. I already Googled it, and in a lot of places they're actually illegal. Now you may not get pulled over for them. Police probably won't even notice it. So check with your local state, city, municipality, district, county, and see if they're actually legal or not before you install these in your vehicle. Now, since we demonstrated what a projector looks like, we might as well demonstrate what a reflector will also look like as best we can. So I'm gonna do the same thing and put the light inside it, and there you have it. See, the light's pretty much everywhere. And there's no cutoff point. There's no way to adjust the light so that it doesn't go up or down. It's just there. It's pretty much everywhere. So we did all this to kind of bring awareness. I want people to be aware before you put LEDs in your vehicle, especially if you have reflector style housings. Now, I like these. I like these a lot. And if it wasn't for being flashed and finding out that it might not be that safe, I would leave them there. I like the way they look. They're bright white. They match with the fog lights, which are also in reflective style housing. They're also LEDs and reflective style housing, so they might not be safe either. But I want people to be aware before you put LEDs in your vehicle. Like as I said, this is my biggest video, was putting these LEDs in my truck. And that kind of bothers me because a lot of people have told me that they put LEDs in their truck after watching my video. So I had to make this video to make people aware that this might not actually be safe. Just so you know, it might not actually be safe. And it also leaves me in a bit of a situation because now what do? Do I keep these in? I mean, I got three options here. I can go back to the stock halogen lights, which is not really an option because I'm not doing that. I could put in projector style housings, which are super expensive. I mean, they have different companies that make these, and they range anywhere from $400 up to, I've seen them as much as $1,500 for projector style headlights. Or number three, I could just be the jerk that's driving around perceived to have his high beams on all the time when actually they're just super bright LEDs that may not even be safe. So if you have any suggestions, please put in the comments, let me know, because I'm not really sure what we're gonna do about this. There's also the option to tint the headlights, but I don't really like that. I don't really like the way, I mean, it looks cool sometimes, but I don't really want to do that. So, I don't know. So if you made it this far in the video, that means you've watched the entire video. You might as well subscribe. Leave me a comment. Leave me a suggestion. What do you think I should do here? I don't know what to do. Let me know what you think I should do. Till next time, I appreciate you watching. Also, follow me on Instagram, me and Car Keys. I'll see you next time.